Right, as promised, we're just getting into the program now, courtesy of Diaspora Meds, Insurance, and Tapio. Hi,
Hi, Bridget. How are you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm out in the sun today.
Good for you. I wish I could see the sun, especially today here. I don't, there's no sun.
Yeah. No,
You
good to be back and good to be talking to our viewers about something that we're passionate about diaspora meds and medical insurance for their loved ones back home. Looking forward to today's discussion.
Oh, great stuff. Sorry, you know the technicalities. You'll be trying to manage things and then talking to you.
Yes,
But
that's fine.
today, what we've decided today, Tapua, is that we just want to really go back and look at the advantages, which is very important for anyone to make a decision in terms of are they going for it or not. It means that somebody would have been explaining to them the advantages of taking up a certain service or product. So today, what we want to do is to just look at some of the advantages that are there that make Diaspora Meds Insurance obviously outstanding from all the other offers that or services that people might be offered out there. And I would like for us to start with you being underwritten by CellMed, and then we're going to look at uh, the other advantages to do with if your loved one has got underlying diseases, or if they are over 65. We also want to look at children and all that.
Okay. All right. No, so thank you very much, Bridget. Once again, like I said, good to be back. So today, like you've said, we want to discuss, what really makes Diaspora Meds different from any other medical aid or any other medical insurance, and why is it that people have to join Diaspora Meds. So that's what we basically want to discuss. So firstly, let me speak about the structure of the product with respect to the strategic partners around the product, like you've already alluded to.
Mhm.
That said, I think you already mentioned that we're underwritten by Summit. We're a
Yes.
very strong underwriter with a strong foreign currency balance sheet. It can be check proven by their financials. Secondly, is the reinsurers around the product that give our product strength. The fact that we are reinsured by the strongest reinsurance companies in the world. Firstly, we're reinsured by Swiss Re, and we're also reinsured by Cigna Health, which are the two medical insurance biggest reinsurance companies in the world. So this obviously goes on to speak about our capability to be able to meet claims at any instance, and our capability not to default, and our capability to be able to honor the claims that individuals actually bring on board, regardless of the amount that they actually come up with. So I think it also speaks to the fact that this is why we can come up with a product that gives you medical cover of up to 33,000 US dollars on a yearly basis. It's mainly because of the structures that we've put around us and those strategic partners. So it obviously gives comfort to our payers and our sponsors that are sponsoring their loved ones back home to actually know that we do have the capability to meet our obligations because of the structures and the strategic partners that we've put around us. So, like they say, if you want to go close, go by yourself, or if you want to go nowhere, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, take a couple of strategic partners with you. So because of the distance traveled and where we want to go and our vision, we've put together strategic key stakeholders to be able to strengthen this product, just to give our stakeholders a lot of comfort.
I think a lot of people would then ask, because this is a product going directly to Zimbabweans. And I know I've seen you playing football the other weekend, and you were talking to Nigerians, and I want to believe that at some point you are spreading your wings. But let's talk about Zimbabweans. And we want to talk about currency and your strategic partners. Some people will say, but we use the dollar, and something changes within those structures, then what happens to me on the cover that I'm on? Would you like to just talk a little bit more about that?
Okay, thanks. So just to speak, yeah, we are definitely going Afro Global. This is
Mhm.
why you've seen us playing football with Nigerians, Zambians. We've partnered with some insurers in Nigeria. We've partnered with some insurers in Ghana. We've partnered with insurers in Zambia, and all other global insurers that we've partnered with. This just gives strength to the product. So to talk about the comfort that people need to have in terms of change of policy and currency in the
Mhm.
country, our
Mhm.
our, our stakeholders would not be affected.
Mhm.
Reason being, number one, the product is already denominated in foreign currency, and it's reinsured outside the country, where there is no restriction or where there is no policy in terms of the use of the RTGS firstly. And also we collect our payments outside the country. So, and we're not, and as much as the service provision is regulated within the country, but in terms of the payments, our payments are international. So if anything happens, if any policy change happens, our payments stay outside. We continue to pay our service providers with forex. So there's no way that we say that today we can't pay a service provider in dollars because the person is paying from the UK and they're paying in pounds. Another person is paying from South Africa, they're paying in rand. So we always have the capability, because of how strong the book is and that is domiciled outside the country, we always have the capability to pay our service providers in forex, and they'll always continue to give preferential service to our to our beneficiaries on the ground, which makes us even more different with other medical aids in Zimbabwe, because they are collecting money in the country. If any policy changes in the country, they're affected by that policy, and they will not be able to meet their obligations, say in US dollar, if those monies are garnished. So our clients already know we don't collect money in Zim, we collect money in the UK, in South Africa, and we still pay those service providers externally as well.
Great stuff. Now, last week we had testimonials. We had some people that have actually or are actually using the product, and I think the 4 of them really had good things to say. And what I loved about the testimonials was the fact that these were not models. This was not Bridget speaking on behalf, but it was people that have used the products and are enjoying. And I want to applaud you guys for, you know, the splendid work that you are doing in terms of making sure that our loved ones are covered. Now, would you like to talk a little bit about the different packages that you guys offer and the advantage thereof? Yeah.
All right, thanks, Bridget. I enjoyed the testimonials from the sidelines last week, as our clients spoke some heartwarming testimonies in terms of how they've benefited from Diaspora Medical Insurance. So once again, to revisit the issue of the packages, we've got packages that are tailor-made for everyone and anyone. We've got packages starting from 13,000 US dollars in overall cover on a yearly basis. And our second cover, that cover is called Manuka. Our second cover gives 21,000 US dollars in medical cover a year. It's called Lavender. And our third cover is called Clover. It gives 33,000 US dollars in medical cover on an annual basis. These covers are divided into budget line items such as chronic medication, GP consultations, acute medication, hospitalization, also to deal with dental, optical, ambulance, pathology, anything that you can think about. They cover a wide spectrum of medical conditions and medical services required at any given point in time. Also, our pricing ranges from 32 US dollars a month to 92 US dollars a month, which is very affordable. So our pricing is dependent on, one, the cover that you choose, and secondly, our pricing is dependent on the age of the person. Our 3 age categories are 0 to 18 categorized as children, 19 to 64 categorized as adults, and 65 and above categorized as pensioners. So obviously, as the risk goes up, the higher the price also. But our price ranges from 32 to 92 US dollars on the 3 bands of covers that I've spoken about.
Great stuff. Let's talk about people with underlying conditions. Where do they tune into, the packages?
So one thing that makes Diaspora Meds very unique, Bridget, is the fact that with respect to underlying conditions, we do not segregate or flag underlying conditions for our beneficiaries. We do understand that the reason that most people or most Africans place their parents on medical insurance or their loved ones on medical insurance in very little instances is actually precautionary. In most cases, they're already dealing with a condition that is already existent. So if we turn away that market, we're turning away the whole essence of serving our people. So unlike any other medical insurance that underwrites beneficiaries on the pretext of underlying conditions, we do not segregate on the basis of underlying conditions. We do accept, of course, with some applicable waiting periods depending on the excessiveness of underlying conditions, but we do not segregate on the basis of underlying conditions.
Great stuff. The other week we spoke about people that are out here working or living out here, but they have children back home. What is the advantage of me if I have a child who's back home or children back home? Sorry, what is the advantage of me getting them on the covers?
Okay, great. So Bridget, so the advantage of firstly placing children on medical insurance is firstly the cost is very minimal. Number one. Number two, if any emergencies do occur back home for your children, because people normally look at children as a non-health risk, a factor, and they don't want to place them on medical insurance with other children. Children are also prone to diseases. We also learned, for example, that with pandemics such as COVID, they don't spare anyone. They don't spare anyone based on age. They don't spare anyone based on underlying conditions. Anyone can be subject to that kind of risk. So basically, looking at the essence and most important aspect of how our health is important, it's important that we actually reimagine the fact that it's not only our parents that need medical insurance, but also it's a moral obligation that we have to put our children on medical insurance, because we're placing our parents that we are looking after our children back home under a heavy burden of looking after our children. Yet we could actually be taking that responsibility as well when these emergencies do arise. But that said, we've got a lot of cases where children, our children, for example, need a lot of dental care at most instances. Some need optical care, so there's definitely scope always for children too. And there are, of course, children that are also born with conditions and they can become a big cost. So there's a lot of spectrum in terms of putting children on medical insurance, and lots of advantages associated with that.
Great stuff. We did mention, or you spoke about, currency policies changing and things like that, and how that doesn't affect Diaspora Meds insurance, because everything really is being taken care of out here, and then the services being provided back home. What are the other advantages of me taking up Diaspora Meds insurance before we close the program?
Okay. So the other advantages is, I'm glad to say that we're the only medical insurance that has got no waiting periods for things such as chronic medication, things such as GP consultations, things such as acute medication, things such as general scans. Every other medical insurance starts from 3 months and above. So if you join us, from the effective date of you joining, you effectively get your benefits from that day of joining on board. Secondly, over and above that, we are the only medical insurance that I know of that does not have segregation of age. You find that medical insurances or anyone else are skeptical, if not against the idea of underwriting or onboarding people above the age of 65 on medical insurance because of the obvious risks of health at that age. So basically, you find that we don't have age segregation. Number two, we also don't have waiting periods for certain critical elements that you may need to access now. And then thirdly, we are also very flexible in terms of currency and payments. You can pay from anywhere in the world using any channel that you can pay for. And then fourthly, we also have a 24-hour toll-free call center, where if your loved ones have an emergency or if they want to access services and assistance, we're always available 24/7. And in the literal sense, Monday to Sunday, available 24/7 toll-free call number that we have for people to actually get hold of us and be able to get assistance. So, most of the time with financial institutions, they sell product, and when they sell a product, the moment you access the product and you're in there, they don't really care about customer service. But for us, our people are very important. We've got an engagement process. After you join your loved ones onto medical insurance, we just don't ignore them. We actually go through the process of educating them as to how to use the medical insurance. So we actually do get your parents' number, we call them, we tell them the nearest hospital that they can go to, we make appointments for them to go to doctors, we send reminders. Our sponsors will testify to the fact that we send regular education material on health to all our sponsors and our beneficiaries. At the same time, we actually do communicate with our beneficiaries and help them to be able to have health checkups, educate them on health essential. So it's more than just it's a bigger relationship than just actually paying premiums and waiting to get medication. It's a wholesome relationship on how we look into people's health and how we can assist people, because we're just not looking forward to a client joining and accessing medication and not getting better. We're looking at actually improving the lifestyles of people. So we're not just here to access and help people pay premiums, then they get a little bit better. We want people to recover. We want people to lead healthy lifestyles, and we want to transform in overall the landscape of medical service provision in the country.
I think that is definitely a wow for me, to change the landscape of healthcare in our country, because most of the services that you're offering, I had stayed in my country for a long time. I never really experienced some of them until I came out here. So it's really amazing that somebody has taken that step to say, look, we can change the landscape and do what we're supposed to do. That goes with where we are in the world now. So we want to applaud and say, yeah, well done to Diaspora Meds Insurance. If you haven't yet gotten your loved ones on, I think you've heard it from Tapiwa. This will be the best decision that you can make before the end of the year, and just join your loved ones, get your loved ones covered by Diaspora Meds Insurance. I would at this point would like to say thank you very much, Tapiwa, for coming through. If you'd like any more information to do with them, they have a toll-free number. You can go onto their website, you can go onto their social media pages, Diaspora Meds Insurance, and you'll be able to get that information. If they do not come to the phone, if you've called on the other different numbers, the UK number or the South African number, they always get back. So just don't despair. They will still get back to you. All you just need to do is to go onto their website and get all the other information that you might need. Thank you very much for your time. Hope to see you again next week.
Thank you very much, Bridget. Thank you very much to our viewers and listeners. Looking forward to engaging with you again in the coming week.
Great.
You don't have to send money for medical bills back home. Put your loved ones on a reliable medical insurance today. Take control of medical bills that can spin out of control by joining Diaspora Meds. With Diaspora Meds, you can make payments from anywhere in the world from as low as $32 to premiums that suit your pocket to get cover of up to $33,000 per year. Your loved ones can enjoy private health services from more than 300 private medical service providers in Zimbabwe. No age discrimination, no flagging underlying conditions, no waiting periods for GP consultations or chronic medication. Give them great health care while saving your money. Visit us on www.diasporameds.com or call +276 411 50528 or +447 4274 55099. Diaspora Meds, your guaranteed peace of mind. Diaspora Meds is underwritten by Cellmed Health Medical Fund.
Laziti azino kutombo miroza kanaka. Aikaka. Yeah.
Thank you all very much for joining us, courtesy of Diaspora Meds Insurance. To all those on Facebook, much love to you. Please come to www.pomtengo.com. The show continues. Yes,